So we'll have to clean that up a little bit. Okay, good to go. It's my life, it's now or never. I ain't gonna live forever. I just want to live while I'm alive. So it's the next night. It's dark. You can hardly see anything. That's great. Corey was nice enough to come by earlier. We did get the car running again. It's not 100%, but it does run. Meanwhile, over in Leon's Mobile Garage Adventures, we're, well, I say we. Leon's trying to fab up a new intake pipe from the turbo, but we're not having the best of luck with finding random scrap bits to use. So, they're using this from a kit. A kit that's already welded together? Yeah, for something else. So. I think it was for a poopra. Huh. So, screw it. I mean, it's just got a little bit of everything in this build. Literally a little. Just a little bit of everything. Anyway. We have to cut that out. I was talking about my penis. There's no good way to clamp this because it's going to come down and hit this no matter if it's out further or if it's this way. So it's going to end up ruining this flange or this 90 here. Or we might be able to use that later on something else. So I just clamped it in and I'm going to cut it with the Sawzall. So best of luck. Mobile fab shop. Here we go. It's time for a blade. So I left the weld so we could clamp a piece to it. Yes. So we'll have to clean that up a little bit. Okay, good to go. Alright, now we got the house hang. I'm shaking my head. There's a mosquito trying to eat a. Oof. Can it go in any further? What? Of course again, yeah. Oof. Cut it here, and then we'll just weld a little like 2-inch piece and put a coupler and call it a day. There we go. Yeah! We got the little 2-inch piece cut, and as you can see, it's taped on. And that's what our gap's going to be essentially, but it's okay because everything's going to be covered up with a silicone coupler. I don't think we have the right one, so we're going to have to get that one on order, which means that we're not going to be firing this thing up right now, but I'm sure in the rest of this episode you're going to see it. Up next, we're going to weld that piece to the turbo, call it a night. Unless we're running crazy boost, this should be fine. Yeah, one big coupler is going to cover the whole seam, so we're good to go. I would really like in a future build to have this clock 90 degrees and just the outlet of the turbo into. We're definitely going to build another 55. Another 55? Yeah, definitely going to build another 55. I mean, we could start it, but we're not going to. There's no point. So that wraps up this evening's work. The next day. So we're back at it again. Basically, I went to Home Depot and Advance Auto or AutoZone, I don't know, they're basically the same thing, and got a bunch of couplers and whatever I could find to plumb up everything that was left. So for instance, I got some new hose clamps for here. I got this coupler, 3-inch to 3-inch, a couple new clamps. I got this sweet old like drain pipe thing from Home Depot. That works like really well. That's really stuck on there. Some mismatch hardware that doesn't belong. Some other hardware that doesn't belong. Basically, the wastegate is bolted on. It has an internal metal gasket that basically does all the hard work for you. I don't know how to plumb this thing yet, and I don't know if that means it's going to be open all the time or closed all the time. Probably closed. There's also a 15-pound spring in there, so that's really dangerous for us. It would be like a really bad idea to start this thing. Cool, it runs. So it's a few days later. Corey stopped by, loaded up a tune. It sort of worked, didn't sort of work, both. We still have the MAF plugged in currently just to make it run for now. Corey's pretty sure that he's figured out the rest of the tune so that we can run it without that. We're just going to be using it as the intake air temperature sensor until we put one in later down the road. The big holdup was me, assuming that the new map sensor would wire in the same way as the old one. It doesn't. Don't worry about these house connectors, they're not permanent. I'll wire it up perfectly once I'm sure everything is 100%. So we weren't reading the right KPA on HP tuners. We're not really sure why exactly, but it was probably from my bunk wiring. So did a little bit of research, went online and found out the correct way to wire it. Drew my 3-wire schematic and hooked it up, and everything seems to work. So I'm gonna let it run for a little bit. The throttle is still not 100%. Again, that's something with the tune, so we're gonna be working on that, but at least you guys will be able to hear it run, and I'll blip the throttle a little bit. We don't have decapped injectors yet, so nothing's really great to run and drive at this point, but I know you guys want to hear it. And that's all for this episode of $1,000 Car Guy. If you enjoyed this episode, please hit the like button. It would really help the channel's ratings go up quite a bit. On the next episode, we're going to dig more into the tune, actually plumb up the wastegate so that it works, and I'm sure some other little things, and then we're probably going to drive it. Alright, see you later.